Hello, you guys are regular subscribers to my channel. You'll know that in 2015 my buddy JC and I did a Saw Shootout. Actually, we did several of them. Well, I've realized I've never done a video on the super heavyweight winner, and that is the Silky BigBoy 2000. So we're going to look at this and put it through its paces. I'm Dean, and this is the Alberta Bushcrafter channel. So actually, there's a couple of saws that didn't make that shootout, and eventually going to see reviews on all of these. The reason I like these is they're very similar blade to a Silky, but they're about 2/3 of the price. But today we're concentrating on this guy. I feel like samurai here. This is the BigBoy 2000. It's a bit of a celebrity saw, in fact, because if you watch the show alone, several of the contestants have had this saw, and for good reason. We've actually put this saw up against a 36-inch Swede saw or bow saw, and this tied. So let's go through the basics. For one thing, Silky makes different models of the BigBoy. There's a large and medium tooth pattern, and those are the BigBoy 360. Slightly different saw than this, and you can also tell Silky's by the handle. I believe black is medium, red is large, or maybe not. I'll look that up. You'll see it below in the captions. But extra large is always yellow. So nice thing is, you drop this in the bush, you're gonna find it. The other nice thing is it's got the Japanese tooth pattern. This one is full of a little bit of dust. This has been doing a lot of work. Pruning and bucking up a lot of trees. In fact, I've mentioned that some trees have gone down around here. So this is carbon steel blade. The nice thing is it is a 6.5 tooth per inch blade. So that's very large, that's very aggressive, and I'm still surprised it actually has a, it leaves a fairly smooth cut. That's just how a Japanese tooth pattern works better than a regular tooth pattern. Now, the other nice thing is this is a 360 millimeter blade. So it's about a, well, let's do the math. Just a minute. Why do the math when you're out in the yard farting around and you have a tape measure with you? So it works out to about 15 inches. That is a big blade. So that means technically you're supposed to go about half the diameter of the blade, maybe a little more. Well, that means this can cut through an 8-inch thick piece of wood without a lot of trouble. It's a very aggressive saw. The other nice thing is, if you are actually using it for pruning or cutting limbs off trees, it does have a second position here. You can see that. That actually lets you get in a lot easier. So that's the basics of this saw. It's an aluminum body construction, carbon steel blade, and like I said, very aggressive. Now, here's the thing. This baby is not your, it's not your Corona razor saw. Sorry, we'll do this, cool. It's not your Corona razor saw, which is, 20, 30 bucks. This, Canadian dollars, at Big Bear Tools and Timberland Supply and so on, it runs about $60 to $75 depending. So this is not a cheap saw. The blades aren't cheap either. I've seen them about 45, 50 bucks. But believe me, when you see this in work, you'll see why it's worth it. Okay. Well, you notice my old log stand is gone. This is one I picked up on sale. This is a Yardworks cantilevered log stand. So we're looking about 3.5, 4 inches down here. But the thing is, this is almost brand new newly cut spruce, and that's a pain. So let's see how this baby goes through it. Remember, it's a pull saw. That's shaking around a lot. This is more made for chainsaws. Now notice, because it's a pull saw, I'm not putting anything on the backstroke. It's all pulling down like this. This is very resinous wood. So it goes quick. I mean, I've actually stuck the Baco Laplander in one of these. Because this is just, no other way to put it, this wood is juicy. It is shaking around a lot too. One thing to notice, yes, I'm wearing my gloves. That is a very smooth cut. So, you can see it actually goes through this pretty well. But look at those. Like that one is about 9 inches across. These are huge mushrooms. I have no idea what species they are. Got a feeling they're probably not edible though, because a lot of mushrooms, they're not. Anyone knows, leave a comment. Alright, so this is a different beast. This is a piece of seasoned black poplar or cottonwood. I think it's also balsam poplar, is that what it really is. This is an annoying wood. It doesn't burn very well. It rots easily and it gets full of mold and stuff. So this is probably one of the nastiest pieces of hardwood you'd cut, and it is very soft, but it is considered a hardwood because it's deciduous, has leaves instead of needles. Let's have a quick look. This is about actually 6 inches across in the middle. I actually cut spruce before switching to this stuff, and my blade is completely gunked up. Not doing it today, thank goodness. My hand's getting tired. So it's really going through here quite aggressively. And again, you notice I'm not doing anything. I'm not pushing it forward like that. I'm strictly doing pull. You'll see pruners sometimes do it like that. That works better on green wood. Well, that's a pretty clean cut. You got an idea how long it takes to go through one of these. But again, you were using your Laplander or even Silky 170, you'd be tired out by now. Apologize for the noise in the background. There's a train just gone by. But here's the other reason I love this saw. Take a look. For pruning, for bucking up stuff, for clearing out brush before you cut a tree down, just watch how quick it is. Got this one, got the angle set differently here. Bam. These are a little sticky, these branches. Pretty quick. This one, yeah. Look at this stuff go. Yeah, this one is a little tougher. See that? That's fast. All right. So, my opinion, this is absolutely worth the 60 or 70 bucks. This is an incredible saw for the backwoods. You could go bigger. There aren't too many 360 mil saws out there in the first place. You can go 500, 650 mil. There's the Katana Boy, but those run in Canadian dollars $200 to $300 and more, and the blades for those are about 110 or more. So yeah, this is 60 to 75 bucks. It is an incredible workhorse. And yeah, I would say absolutely #1 saw in my collection. It's the one I use most, and not just for the outdoors. I mean, it's a little big, it's tough to fit in the pack, but being a folder, it's great. This can get into places a bow saw can't, and it cuts a lot more aggressively. Plus, you know, bow saw can't do that. I should also point out this saw, because I've had a lot of bucking and pruning to do this year in the yard on the acreage, this has been used a lot. Now people are also going to wonder, why do I have these Corona razor saws? You know why? It's because they're about half the price of a Silky. The blade's not quite as good. They tend to gunk up a bit. Like this one, take a look at that. That is, that's really not good. And that's after, I mean, I just cleaned it a week ago. I took it out, maybe 8-10 cuts. These are pruning saws. I keep these for the yard. These are what I keep in the workshop, in the garden shed, if I am going, you know, if I just need to quickly prune some stuff and get into smaller branches, get into tight spaces. So these, you could, if you wanted to use these as bushcraft saws, they're admirable. They still work better than the Baco products, I will say. But again, I prefer the Silkies, especially the steel construction. These don't have it. There will be upcoming reviews of these bad boys soon, but right now, absolutely. If you can afford the 70 bucks, if you got space in your pack, this is the saw you want. And it's evidenced by the fact that there's a lot of contestants on Alone that use this particular saw. Keep an eye out for it, in fact. So yeah, my favorite saw, I would say, of all time right now. Thanks for putting up with me, and thanks for watching. This has been the review of the Silky BigBoy 2000. I'm Dean. This is the Alberta Bushcrafter channel. Like, share, comment, and subscribe. Take care, and good day.